Jayden, Ben, Caleb, Bears, Commanders, Hoge at Halas Hall. This is the show. Stick around. CHGO Bears starts right now. Welcome into the Wednesday, October 8th edition of the CHGO Bears Podcast, proudly presented by our friends at Bet365. It is never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, use the code CHGO, $200 in free bet money coming right to you after you bet your first $5 at Bet365. Alongside my handy-dandy Cubs diehard fan who I offered Cubs tickets to twice for today, and he denied me both times. Gregory P. Allen Braggs. The P stands for giving up. And Hoge's joining us from Halas Hall in a matter of moments. Good to see you, Gregory.
Good seeing you. Yep.
Is it? I feel like you're in a mood.
I'm not in a mood, but yes, the Cubs season is over. It'll end today. But I'm excited. It's October baseball. We'll take it.
Yeah.
They've had a good run. It's making it harder that the Brewers they got to lose to, but we got to accept our fate, and the fate is the Cubs are losing.
And the truth of the moment is, and I hate to do this to you, you're one of my favorite listeners in the history of this program, but your mom, Barb, who's in the chat already, she said she wanted the Cubs tickets today that I somehow had access to, and then once they lost game 2, she was out, just like you.
Yep.
Just the whole family's given up.
Yeah.
That's not like the Barb I know. I don't know what happened.
I know. I'm just as disappointed in her as you are.
Yeah. I'm kidding, Barb. You're making a good decision. Yeah. All right.
But it was very nice of you to offer. It was good seats.
Yeah. I do have a fun story about what a nightmare those tickets were. Coming up at the back end of the show. But first, because Ben was talking today, I figured we would do our QB report, or Steven told me we're doing our QB report, sponsored by RC Cola. So delicious. Just
nobody can see you.
Nobody can see me?
They can see, okay.
No, they can hear me. It's me and my RC and you on that screen. RC Cola, it's not just a soft drink, just damn good cola. They can see me now. Yeah.
They could see you before. I was wrong. So that's good. Because if it was just the graphic with you making that noise, that wouldn't be a great endorsement.
Be slightly alarming. All right.
Oh, maybe RC would love it.
Well, our QB report, sponsored by RC, also includes a happy birthday to our GM, Jake Flanagan, who's turning 28 today, youngest GM in the history of the business. I bring up Jake right now because Jake is the most optimistic guy ever. So we had to go and I think this clip from Ben talking about Caleb and Jayden and
Birthday boy Jake.
Birthday boy Jake.
Birthday boy
Jake. There
Happy
you go.
Birthday, Jake.
You're listening to the show. That's good. Let's hear from Ben as he talks about, because the story obviously this week, Jayden picked second, Caleb picked one. Jayden offensive rookie of the year, Caleb worst coaching situation ever. Caleb now has found Ben. Caleb now finding his way hopefully to the Hall of Fame. This was Ben on the where we're at here QB wise.
Caleb and Jayden. Yeah. I thought it was a really strong class coming out. It's probably one of the stronger in recent history. Caleb obviously felt highly about him. The part of the reason why I wanted to come here. And I haven't been disappointed with him whatsoever. He continues to get better, elite arm strength, the ability to extend plays. I don't think a whole lot differently for Jayden. Jayden's extremely accurate thrower of the football, something that I think gets overlooked when you look at him, because he is so dynamic with his legs, and he hurts teams so much on the ground as well. So I think I think there are probably a lot of similarities. I think these are two ascending quarterbacks in this league, and I think we're going to be talking about them for a long time in the future.
When you were looking at that class, what did you like about kind of the 6 guys who went in that first round? Was it a different flavors thing, or was it just overall just strength?
Yeah, I think, the college game's so unique that each one's a little bit different with what they put on tape, but I thought they were you just start with the throwing of the football. I thought all those guys were elite at throwing the football accurately, and that's always a good starting point because, I kind of go back to Bruce Arians back a few years ago talking about quarterbacks they need to still be able to execute on 3rd down and in 2 minutes. I think that's, you get all these athletes nowadays coming on out, and if you can't really picture them excelling in those 2 situations, I think you kind of hamstring your football team. And so in regards to that draft class, I thought all those guys were capable of winning games for you with their arm on 3rd down in 2 minutes.
So there you go. There's Ben Johnson on the 2024 draft and on Jayden and on Caleb. There's a lot in there. I've got about 28 reactions. My first reaction is that if Ben Johnson was the general manager of the Chicago Bears, that he would have at least interviewed Jayden Daniels alongside Drake May rather than just deciding on Caleb. That's one part. The other thing that I found interesting that he underlined there, now this is where you get to yell at me and probably the chat too, but I think it's just a little bit noting when he's talking about coming to Chicago. He said, part of the reason I came to Chicago. He didn't say the reason I came to Chicago. So I do think, because most people think, at least and I thought at the time, he's picking the Bears, this organization that hasn't won a playoff game in 2011, because he sees an elite quarterback that he can win with, and that's why he's willing to come to Chicago. But I actually think there was a lot more to it, more so than just Caleb. There's something about the Bears job in particular I think that was enticing him. It's not a knock on Caleb. Don't take it that way out there, all the sensitive folk. But I thought it was interesting that he put it that way.
Yeah, he's not coming here without Caleb Williams. He's as enticing as Chicago is. He's been a Cubs fan his whole life. There's all that backstory, all that. He was just at the playoff game the other day, unlike me and my mom, who won't go today. But, yeah, true Cubs fan. So shout out Ben Johnson. But I don't think as much if he had an affinity for this city, if they don't have Caleb Williams, he's not taking this job. You have to have a pathway to success. You have to have a quarterback. If you're an offensive coordinator, one of the top play callers of the last 4 years, you have to have a quarterback that's going to give you that pathway to success, or you're going to end up Matt Nagy back on the same sideline 5 years from now that you were on. So, of course, he's not going to just put it all, to the media. The whole only reason I came here was Caleb. The first thing he said in his press conference, he looked right at Caleb and said, this isn't just about you. This is about the other 52 guys on the team. So, I think he's always got to publicly acknowledge that. But at the same time, we all understand how important this quarterback-coach combo thing is.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing, too, is, and I know, like, when you talk about me yelling at you, it wouldn't even be about that thought, because we all know how you pick nits on the wording, phrasing.
What do you want to yell at me about?
The thing that is the thing that I would want to yell at you about is, like, I would be afraid if Mark Carman was a farmer, because the amount of dead horses that he would beat would be relentless, and it would be
what
relentless.
Dead horse did I just beat?
Because you keep bringing he would have evaluated Jayden and Drake May. Of course, we understand this. Let it go.
Let it go.
They were going to draft Caleb Williams no matter what.
No one's letting it go this week, but I need to let it go.
You want to say the process was bad? Fine, but they were going to draft Caleb Williams. 31 other teams would have done the exact same thing in the exact same position in terms of who they were drafting. You want to say the process would have been different? Fine.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do know that.
You do not?
Yeah, I do know that.
Okay, fine. You know that. Hey, I want to apologize to Adam Hoge, who's waiting to join us right now, for one, but also to you, your boy Boogie, because your boy Boogie's in the chat, and your boy Boogie was in Vegas, and somehow I just did not see your boy Boogie, and I feel bad about it.
That sucks.
That was a bad job by me, but we'll somehow have to make that right at some point. All right, let's go out to Halas Hall and bring in Adam Hoge, because I know he's got 28 million takes from today's Ben Johnson press conference as well. Hoger, All right, I won't even submerge you in my takeaways from Ben Johnson today. Well, I'm just gonna throw the question out to you. What did you take away from Ben today? What was your number one listening to him talk about quarterbacks and a lot going on in that press conference? Cairo Santos included. You could go special teams. That could be your number one takeaway. Wherever you'd like to go.
Well, no, I'm not going to go special teams, although we certainly do need to watch Cairo Santos' status the rest of the week. I am legally bound to not be able to tell you for, I think, 2 hours what I just saw out there on the practice field. But I'm not terribly panicked about the Bears not having their kicker this week. I'll just say that, and there's still plenty of time before we get to Monday. My biggest takeaway was honestly what he had to say about the Commanders, who, let us not forget, is the team that beat him in the playoffs last year and sent Ben Johnson to Chicago very, very quickly, just hours, seemingly 24, 48 hours after that game. And none of us expected him to be available that fast. Very, very complimentary towards the Commanders. I'm assuming you guys already played the cut about Jayden versus.
We did. That's the only thing.
Yep. Before I got on here, so Steven, if we could go to the his scouting report on the Washington Commanders, because that was my biggest takeaway. Like, I think he has a lot of respect for these guys, as he should. And as much as we're talking about like revenge because of what happened on the Hail Mary last year, like, this guy probably wants revenge for getting knocked out of the playoffs. I would think. So there's a lot of different angles we could take with this, but the biggest thing I thought here was just a lot of respect for Dan Quinn and what Dan Quinn's been able to do in Washington very, very quickly.
Man, you need to play complementary football to beat this team. This is a really good football team. I think Dan Quinn's an outstanding coach. He has been, whether it was Atlanta or Washington now. I mean, it really doesn't matter. He's fielded good teams. These guys play hard. They play inspired football. You know, there are a lot of similarities between what we faced a couple weeks ago with the Raiders and a Pete Carroll-led team and a Dan Quinn-led team, in my opinion. I think, I say it, when you turn on the tape and you see special teams playing so fast, so violent, so physical, I think that says a lot about your football team. I like to think we do the same thing on our side, led by Coach Hightower there. But that's, I can't say enough good things about the identity. You know, it's physical, it's fast, and you can tell that they're a really unified group and they play well for each other.
What are some of Pat's question? You did have a lot of offensive production in that game in January. Is there anything instructive to you within that tape that you can apply, just knowing how to exploit their defense a little bit?
Yeah, I think when I look back at that game, we had a lot of turnovers and I felt like within that setting that, as good as that offense was clicking, you feel a little bit of pressure on offense to go score for score, and you don't want to fall behind by 2 scores against a good team like that. And so might have been a little bit more aggressive with the play calls and got away from the game plan a little bit based on how that game went. And end of the day, you take care of the football, that game goes maybe a different direction. And that's been the last 2 weeks for us in general, is we've done a good job taking care of the football for the most part, and we've been taking the ball away from the opposing offense. And so I think that's a big indicator of how well we'll do this week.
So there you go. If people forgot, Jared got through 3 picks in the game. Back to you, Hoge.
Yeah, no, and I was just about to say, when you play a team like Washington, who I don't know if they're the most talented team in football. Certainly the Bears aren't to that point either. But when you face a team that has a strong identity, is well coached, and is always going to show up and play hard and play tough, which I think we can say about the Commanders. What Ben was talking about there, those are the teams you have to be really careful about, just not making early mistakes. It sounds so simple. Yeah, you want to get off to a good start. Everybody wants to get off to a good start. But there's certain opponents where you can get away with not getting off to a good start. With the Commanders, I think it's not only important for the Bears to get ahead and play with a lead, but just they have to play clean for most of the game. I don't know how closely you guys watched that game against the Chargers the other day, but I think it was somewhat deceiving, the final score. And I want to go through a couple of things that happened there, because the Chargers were up 10-0, and they were they were headed into the red zone. Quentin Johnson, who's having a great breakout season, former first-round pick, who's finally starting to live up to potential, he catches a ball. They're in the red zone. They're about to be in the red zone, up 10-0, and he fumbles after the catch. Huge play, huge mistake, similar to some of the mistakes the Lions made in that playoff game last year. And all of a sudden, the game turns. Despite that, though, Ladd McConkey had this amazing punt return touchdown that I'm not sure anybody saw if you didn't watch the game live or didn't watch the highlights later, because they roughed the punter on the play and they didn't really need to do it. And so it came off the board. But otherwise, the Chargers were about to be up 17-7 at halftime, despite the big fumble by Quentin Johnson earlier in the game. And instead, they allow Washington. They leave this little door open to Washington. They go down and kick a field goal, and instead it's 10-10 at halftime. And from that point on, the Chargers couldn't do anything. Although they actually did get down to the goal line later in the game, and Herbert threw an interception. So you can't have a game like the Chargers did against Washington the other day and expect to have a chance. I thought the Chargers could have easily won that game, but they just kept these self-inflicted wounds, and the Commanders are going to take advantage of that, much like they did in that game against the Lions in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that game was very deceiving. I don't think that the Commanders for 3 quarters necessarily played a great game, but then by the end of it, they were dominating Washington. They were dominating the Chargers, and a lot of it was the compliment to their run game, because they just kept stacking first downs, and your boy over here just 100 and what? I think he ended up with 112 yards or so on the game.
You're talking about Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt?
Yeah, I mean,
and
so they won the war of attrition.
111.
111. That's right. So I mean, it's going to be key. This is the weakness the Bears have, is to stop the run. And they haven't really done that so far this season, but they've had 2 weeks to look at Ashton Genty tape running all over them, so hopefully that gives them a vote of confidence.
Yeah, 111 yards on 14 carries, which, Greg, I know you know the math on that off the top of your head, but that's,
of course I do,
7.9 yards per carry,
exactly
which
what
is
I was going to say.
Significant. And the Bears are 31st in the NFL in giving up 164 yards per game, 6.1 yards a carry. We detailed that yesterday. Why don't you want to move over to the run game here? And he was talking about that, Hoge. Actually, Hoge, you stay right there, because
don't go anywhere.
You look so good that we don't want. Well,
you might be thinking about it, but right. Get back here.
We'll talk about the run game in
just go to break
1 second. But first, there's no breaks. But first, hey, shout out to our friends at Bet365. 365. Thursday night football. You know what they've got? They got the $10 safety net bet. I mean, literally can't lose. Eagles, Giants. By the way, Philly's a 7.5-point favorite if you're looking at that. Shout out to our friends at Bet365 who, yes, they've got breaking news as always, and here it is for the new customer. You get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. So you sign up, use the code CHGO365. You deposit $10, you place a bet for $5, and then you got $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. You already won. You got $200 coming in. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Take advantage of this. It's free money. Give yourself a shot. You do have to be 21 or older, or someone, by the way, if you know someone who has a gambling problem, crisis counseling referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, in-app only.
That's right. I want to give a shout out to our good friends over at RC Cola. Let's be real for a second. The world has gone soft. Mark Carman has gone soft. Everyone gets a trophy for just showing up, and everything needs to be bubble wrapped.
I was already soft.
RC's
made me tougher, actually. Thank you.
You just relax over there. Soda used to have some kick, and now it's all about pretty colors and easy fizz. RC Cola is not a soft drink, just a damn good cola, just like you're a damn good person. It's the original cola that doesn't fold under pressure, just like Caleb Williams. RC is an OG cola in a world of spineless soft drinks. RC Cola tastes like a punch in the thirst. Do yourself a favor, grab some RC at your local store. Stock up on all your favorite fall parties, Halloween parties, back-to-school celebrations, or just watching the game, RC is the move for whatever you are doing. Real quick before it sure is. Shout out RC. Real quick before we get to the run game and some of the other things, just going back to the Commanders Chargers game. I was curious about your takeaway. Jayden Daniels comes back from his injury, so that was something I was really watching closely in that game, is how much he trusted his knee. There was one moment where he did slip, and he kind of got up a little gingerly. He did end up with about 40 rushing yards, but I'm just curious your perspective on how he looked to you in terms of his confidence, as a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he looked fine to me. I was watching that too, and in fact, I had, the reaction of at one point, like I kind of forgot about it, and I saw him scramble, and I was like, oh, he looks like he's good. Like he's good to go. That being said, though, I thought Brock Bowers looked a lot better going into the game against the Bears, and I don't know if he re-aggravated something or what happened there, but obviously then he missed last week, and he didn't look the same in that game against the Bears. So, when you have a guy with durability issues and coming off an injury, you never, it could flip at any point on any given play. So certainly, I think if you're a Commanders fan, you're still feeling a little bit uneasy about the durability and maybe what's going on with that knee for Jayden. But in terms of what he looked like on tape, it didn't look like it was bothering him.
If I'm a Commanders fan, I'm telling him stop taking so many reckless hits. There's a couple times where he got turned out and tackled by like 3 or 4 guys. If I'm a Commanders fan, I'm like, chill, dude.
We might want to make you a Commanders fan. It's an interesting option for us. I haven't thought about it. But the other part of that, if you're going to be a Commanders fan and lean into that, you shouldn't just be mad at Jayden. They called running plays. Cliff Kingsbury did, and Dan Quinn said okay to it. There were design runs for the QB last week.
Yeah, but that's got to be part of their offense. And this is one thing that I not everything needs to be a Jayden versus Caleb thing, but this is one of the things where I feel good about the fact that we're not living in this world like we were with Justin Fields. This is no shot at anybody, not Justin or Jayden, but isn't it nice not to have to be like, oh man, we have to use his legs as part of the offense to be what our offense is, but you don't want to expose him to injury at the same time. Like it is nice to have a quarterback that can run, but the Bears don't need Caleb Williams to run for the offense to work. They can use that tool if they need it, but they're not dependent on it, is my point.
It's actually been one of my biggest surprise with Caleb is how mobile and just how quick he is to be able to, A, avoid trouble, and then B, when he decides he's going to run, dude can move. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's he's obviously not the fastest quarterback in the NFL. It's not like a Justin Fields type, but he can burn it. He can move.
He can move, and he's tough. But doesn't it seem like he's trying so hard? Like I get nervous when he's running because it looks like he's working so hard to get to that top speed.
But then he's got the tiptoe at the end. That's nice. All right, let's get back to Ben because I know you have to get back to work over there, Hoge. Because this is just fun for you.
This is work.
You love.
Actually, none of this is work. We're just having fun. It's football.
Okay, well, you got to go back to give whatever you do with John's out there on these days.
Watching the Cubs try to score 4 runs. Now that's work.
Last time they did it was 2017 in the playoffs.
So the running game,
Hoge. Run game, Hoge, you jerk.
Yes.
Greg was very. Okay. Greg's tough
much
today,
like the Cubs are trying to score 4 runs, the Bears are trying to average 4 yards per carry, and it's been a struggle. And Ben Johnson is clearly taking it personally, and I'm not sure he has all the answers, but I did think his answer today to the question about trying to fix it was interesting. This is what he said.
I think it's hard to evaluate any of our running backs right now when you turn on the tape and there's some free runners in the hole where the play is designed to go. And so like I said last week, I take it personally because I actually spend more time on the run game than I do on the passing game, and not only trying to create explosives in the running game, but being sound, and take a lot of pride in our execution of the fundamentals of You talk about a deuce block, deuce combination, all looking the same, a triple between the tight end and the tackle, all looking the same. And we're not quite there yet. And so it's been a race since training camp started. We get pads on, that's when the full speed starts happening, and you get linebackers that are coming downhill and pulling you off your double teams, and we're just not reacting fast enough right now. And so we got to learn from everything that we put on tape so far as an entire unit, so that those combinations can be a lot cleaner, and so we give our runners a chance, because we do have some dynamic players, whether it's our running backs or our receivers, that if we can give them a chance to get a little bit of green grass, they take advantage of it. But we just haven't done it consistently enough.
So once again, Ben Johnson being Ben transparent on what I thought, the most interesting part to me in that whole thing was that he spends more time on the run game than the pass game. That's a huge focus for him. I don't know what your takeaway was, Hoge/Braggs.
Well, I love that answer, in that, I can't evaluate my running backs if they're going to a hole and there's a free runner coming through that hole, and either they got to dodge to a different gap or just get tackled. And so you could tell the frustration in there. And this is my bad, because I saw, Steven, I just put a couple of graphics in the Slack. I don't know if you can turn them around fast enough. If you can't, it's no problem. But there were some interesting graphics I saw on social media yesterday that basically showed the Bears' EPA, rushing EPA per gap. So basically, like, what it looks like when they're running between the guard and the left guard, or the left guard and the left tackle. And so if you think about it, there's 6 potential gaps there to run through, and the only one they have a positive EPA is outside of the right tackle. So outside of Darnell Wright, which isn't necessarily surprising, because they've clearly been better running outside than inside. But even running to the left side, outside, hasn't been good. Their worst gap is running between the left guard, Joe Thuney, and the left tackle. And I'm not going to put that on Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney's been great, but I do think when you hear there it is right there. Great job, Steven, turning that around. I mean, it just goes to show you how much they're struggling to run the ball inside and really in any direction outside of the right tackle. But they're definitely better to the right than they are to the left. My whole point of bringing this up and listening to the answer from Ben, I don't think he's going to call out any of these interior offensive linemen. But anyone else starting to think that these 3 guys that I think deserve a lot of credit and have been way better, don't get me wrong, but the 3 guys, we talk so much about the tackles. I think to some point these guards and the center need to take some ownership and play better in the running game, because when you start talking about combinations and duo and trying to get up to the linebackers, that's usually on those interior guys.
Well, hold on. Put that graphic back up, Steven, one more time, because I want to make sure the audio listener knows this too. It says negative .277 outside the left tackle. In between the left tackle and the left guard is negative 0.563. In between the guard and center, negative .226. In between the center and the right guard, negative .19. In between the right guard and the right tackle, negative .015, the lowest. And then outside the right tackle, it's positive .281. Are you saying, is that graphic saying that the only time the Bears get a positive run play is when they run outside the right tackle and that's it? Is that right?
I mean, essentially. Now, this is EPA, so it's expected points added. So you got to think about it the most simple way I could say this is if they're running between the left guard and the left tackle on any given play, they're costing themselves a half a point. Not every time, obviously, but that's like the average of the outcome of running through that gap through 4 games this season. It's cost them a half a point. That's concerning. And so, but I also don't think that sounds dramatic, but it also sounds like what we've seen. I mean, they got to get this fixed.
Yeah. And, what it doesn't show there, too, obviously the lowest numbers being outside the tackles. Well, it doesn't include the tight ends, and they've been in a lot of 12 personnel. And in my opinion, I think the tight ends have done a really good job blocking this year. And hopefully Colston Loveland can return as well to add something to how this all looks. But yeah, I mean, that would have been my follow-up question is, are you disappointed in the veterans that you brought in? Because he's saying they're just not there yet. Well, and that I think he might have said that they expected that a little bit. But at the same time, we're 4 weeks into the season. You know, we're moving on to Game 5. To me, going into this Washington game, they got to have this figured out. You can put this all on DeAndre Swift all you want, but you paid a lot of money for these three guys, and I need to see more push because, again, when you watch the Washington Chargers game, that is something you see with their offensive line. They generate a push the other way, and I'm not seeing enough of that from our offensive line.
Well, a better question to Ben, and you still probably would need a lie detector test for him to come completely clean on it, but would you have gone about building the offensive line as far as the amount of time they've played together differently? Because they did not play together in the preseason. Joe Thuney got the preseason off. So seeing what's happened, would he alter the way they went about it? Versus forget about the acquisitions period, just how he coached up training camp and the preseason altogether.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to give proper credit for those graphics. It came from Ray Carpenter on Twitter at CSV_enjoyer, one of these data football nerds like me on Twitter. So
if you were a carpenter, okay, go ahead.
But it's a really cool graphic. It shows it for all the teams. We have the defensive one too. I don't want to get into this too much, but if you're wondering what it looks like when the Bears are trying to stop the run, now this was interesting because it goes to it's not great inside, and actually outside it's not bad. Now you got to think about it. We don't have to get in the weeds on it a little bit, but on defense, the negative numbers are actually better because you're costing the other teams points, right? So, defensive tackles. Can we play better in the run against the run? Because that's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, and that's interesting because we're gonna talk about the potential impact of Austin Booker if indeed he is healthy coming up here, which you could in theory slide somebody inside, and maybe that potentially could help that graphic look a little bit better in a couple of weeks. But taking that out of it or take it in, either way, Hoge, I mean, if you're Dennis Allen, what are you doing differently looking at that graphic, if anything, personnel-wise? Scheme-wise, however you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of putting me on the spot there, but I don't know. I mean, they're playing all these guys. I know Andrew Billings made a nice couple plays in that Raiders game, but I don't think he looks as consistently dominant as he was before in the previous defense. Man, I was really high on Von Dexter coming out of training camp. I thought didn't we name him the most improved player in camp? Mm-hmm. And Greg, you look miserable right now. What is like? Are you just this sad about your Cubs and Bears?
It might just be a little resting Hoge face. I'm fine.
Yeah, I think you have resting Greg face right now.
No. Listen, you can put it on me. He just the minute he walked in and saw me today, it's just been down.
Honestly, I thought you were going to be in studio today too. And when I walked in and it was just Carm, and he's like, when I get in, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is what I have to do today.
I mean, I have to be in a bad mood. I'm trying my best to just bring the enthusiasm, and Greg's just not having it. So it's all right. He's still in Vegas.
No, I'm fine.
Didn't you guys see that Frank Nazar breakaway goal yesterday? I mean, everybody should just be in a wonderful mood today. It's 60 degrees and sunny. It just was beautiful weather out there on the Halas Hall practice fields. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like the Bears might win this week, guys.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, then you better pick them. Don't try to bait and switch me.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing here. little chess match here. Yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, you're
do you guys want
RC.
I'm not.
Do you guys you tell me what you want to do? You want to break and get
No, we want to play
keep
one
me
more
on
clip
for Caleb? Okay.
Well, unless you want to hang around, let's hang around. Hoge, you stay right there. But first, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp, and people turn to lots of places to get help.
Golf.
Right. There you go, golf, or to your friends, or to your barista, or to your barber, to your hairdresser, whatever. I recommend turning to a quality therapist. BetterHelp therapists, they work from the top of the food chain. These are the premium people in the world that can actually help you and move you forward, whether it's family stuff, work stuff, whatever you need. They have 30,000 therapists to choose from there. You basically, what you do is you go through the form. They ask you what you look like and what you're looking for, and then they select a therapist for you, so you feel comfortable. This is somebody that is, proficient in what you're looking for. They are the largest online therapy provider in the world. BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of experience. Find the one with BetterHelp, and our listeners do get 10% off the first month at betterhelp.com/CHGO. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/CHGO. Phenomenal job they do. Check it out.
That's right. And hey, Bears fans, Toyota has 25 vehicles that are available, all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. The RAV4 has legendary versatility. The Grand Highlander's adult-sized third row is for real, and the Tacoma's wild side comes standard. From job sites to campsites and game nights, there's an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive Toyota to get you in style for everyone. Absolutely. And find yours at Toyota.com. Or, of course, you go visit your Chicagoland Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Make sure you're getting yourself a Toyota when you're getting your next car. Steven, make sure you do that, okay?
I have a Toyota.
There you go. My guy.
So, and Eric Bochan, we really appreciate that. He says some of us come to CHGO Bears to get right mentally. That's an incredible compliment.
It's really crazy thought to have.
Yeah,
that's the second craziest thing ever said. Second to the person that said that they fall asleep listening to our show. I couldn't think of a worse way to try to fall asleep than to listen to the subtle sounds of you singing whatever comes to your head.
I mean, I think that's very peaceful, and I take offense to that comment. But Bochan,
personally,
yeah,
I come here for the RAV4s.
I'll tell you what, I'll get a RAV4 and I'll run you over with it. All right.
Yeah, did you like that correction there, Hoge, when I got in there with the old,
Oh yeah, you slipped that one in there. That was very professional. That was way more professional than what I just did.
Jose is in the chat saying it was nice meeting me at Old Crow. He said it about 15 times. Jose, it was great meeting you at Old Crow on Monday. If you put that in the chat one more time, I swear to God. All right, let's move on before I'm threatening to numb people this segment.
His computer is malfunctioning. Give Jose a break.
It was very nice meeting him.
This is a very important show that I need to keep on track as
You're doing great.
Doing my job today. We've got one more clip from Ben that I know we want to play, which I forgot what it's about, so you need to lead into it. Oh, yeah, playing in structure. Yeah,
Caleb
right.
playing in structure, and I thought you specifically needed to hear this, Carm. So here you go.
Good.
Yeah, I think when you turn on the tape, I think that shows up every single week. I see him playing the game with his feet more to where he's, at the top of his drop, he's ready to deliver the ball to the primary receiver in a good throwing posture and position so that he can be accurate with it. And then if it's not there, he quickly progresses to 2 to 3, and then will end up taking off if need be. But I think that's the best thing is just knowing where his eyes need to be, combine it with the footwork. And you see him getting a little bit better and better every single week. I mean, there's reps every week that we try to build off of. There's also reps that we learn from as well, because there's a number of them that maybe we bypass number one a little bit too quickly, and it's like, no, he's there. Let's go ahead and give it to him. And I think that's really been the best thing for him is he doesn't make the same mistake twice very often, and that's a good thing, because we're just, as we accumulate all these reps, they're getting banked in this library for him, and so he can draw back from that experience the next time he gets a similar type of play.
Is he getting better at recognizing the check down? I know that's something he said he wanted to do, but he wanted to progress at. But from
your perspective? Are you seeing him when it's not there? He is hitting that with more just faster than
He knows where they are. I don't think we're hitting them accurately enough as a whole when you look at the 4 games. He's very, we've been talking about being completion driven, and so he's very conscious of that. The checkdowns are a good way to do that. We have some plays where, we're looking for a chunk, and if it's not crystal clear, he knows, man, all of us are happy if we just dump this thing down. But we got to give accurate balls underneath so that our pass catchers have a little run after catch opportunity when it's the underneath 5-yard variety. And so he knows where they are, but we need to be just a little bit cleaner in our delivery to him.
So he said that twice. For those of you paying weird attention like I am to what comes out of Ben's mouth, Caleb knows where the dump down options are, but they need to hit them more accurately. It's interesting to me that and I appreciate it, I think most Bears fans appreciate it, that he's just saying what's so, and he's holding that, like, his quarterback won't sit there and be like, can you believe what Ben just said about me? He's telling everybody that I didn't do this right. Like, I don't need that. I don't need my coach talking about me like that. But I think it actually speaks to their relationship that he can put things out as accurately as he's putting them out. Maybe I'm going too far.
But that was the follow-up. That was the answer to the follow-up question after he spent over a minute praising him for all the things he's doing better and playing in structure and getting to the top of his drop back and throwing the ball on time with a good base, and it's improving all that accuracy, which is why, and I feel like I've said this a million times to this point, you don't always find head coaches at these press conferences as totally believable and credible, but in Ben Johnson's case, we continue, with maybe some small injury things here and there, but when it comes to Caleb and some of these evaluations, even in the run game that we just went through, you believe him. You believe what he's saying because the positive stuff he's talking about matches the tape. And in this case, I love that he was not afraid to be critical too, because yes, he's doing a good job of getting to the check down. In some ways, being accurate on the shorter passes is even more important because you have to hit that guy in stride with his momentum going forward. It's like a center fielder coming in on a fly ball. If you're going backwards, you're going to get no momentum on your throw coming in. It's the same thing. If you throw the ball behind and over here, he might catch it, but he's probably going to get tackled for no gain or a 2-yard loss or something. Whereas if you hit him in stride out here in front of him, he can catch that thing and get 15 yards. And I totally agree with Ben that there's been some missed opportunities there, and if you look at some of where the efficiency numbers might not quite match what you think you're seeing, because you're like, these are still completions, but that's I think the yardage and some of the efficiency that could still be better here. And it's just like this minuscule of just getting the ball in a different spot, you're going to get more yards.
Well, I also think, look, Caleb is more than talented enough to be able to hit the checkdowns. So I do think when this slows down a little bit more and he's comfortable with the offense and just being a quarterback in the NFL period and the speed of everything that's going on out there, that number I would assume is going to come up very rapidly because it just will be second nature to him. So I think it's actually like the fact that he's putting up the numbers that he's putting up right now without that is, I would call it encouraging.
Well, right. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's about being to me it is. It's about being more comfortable because a lot of the times, not always, but a lot of the times when you're hitting your check down, you have gone through multiple reads. So your clock now is, okay, I have to get this ball out of my hands or I'm going to take a sack here.
You're freaking.
Right? So very rarely is that check down going to be your first read. So that's just Caleb letting the game slow down a little more, like you just said, getting a little more comfortable. And once he feels that Zen mode, then I think he's going to be able to deliver those balls calmer and then hence more accurately. But I do think just looking at the stair step of development through these first 4 games, I'm glad Ben talked about that because to me, I'm sure there's a myriad of things that Caleb can work on, but I do think that this is kind of the last piece of the puzzle of the development we've seen over these last 5 weeks, because last year it was all about downfield accuracy. I feel like he's gotten much better about that. It's been about how he operates in the pocket, how he operates under center. That was a big talk going into the offseason. He hasn't done that much. He's doing it much more now. He's delivering at the top of his drop. There's just so many things that you can like from what you've seen here so far. And obviously there's always room for improvement. But the short stuff, just calming your feet, calming your mind, and delivering a calm, accurate pass, I do think that's kind of the last frontier here, at least for early term development.
Well, I think we're all with Orange Cassidy as we wrap up this Hoge segment. In Ben we trust. Might as well print T-shirts or whatever we're going to do around that, because that motto is going to be around for quite some time. Hey, Hoge, before you go, do you have any updates on Brisker or Grady Jarrett or Colston Loveland or Cairo that you're allowed to tell us right now? Or is there any optimism for any of those guys? Where the hell is Jaquan Brisker?
Yeah, I know. When Brisker was not seen yesterday, I'm a little worried about that. That's a little confusing. Again, the first injury report's not coming out till tomorrow when they're not even practicing, so it'll be estimated. Grady Jarrett, I think we'll have to continue to watch. Darnell Wright, I think we'll have to continue to watch. I mentioned Cairo earlier. We'll just have to see, but I'm trying to think of who else. I do think Colston Loveland, Austin Booker, Kyler Gordon will be back this week. He's already been very clear about that. He said that last week that he would have played the game. He would have played week 5 had there been a game, obviously at the bye week, but he would have played had there been a game. And then TJ Edwards should be back too. So kind of mixture of both. A lot of guys will be coming back, but there's some other guys too. And the Brisker thing will probably be another storyline we'll have to dig into later this week, because obviously he was seemingly fine before the bye week.
Yeah, that was exciting to hear yesterday with Kyler Gordon announcing he was going to come back. I didn't see that was reported yesterday because I was at Circus Swim all last week.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered it extensively. We talked about it on like every show. Hey, I got to go, guys, but Monday night, we're going to have a great pregame show over at Morgan's on Fulton in the West Loop. I got my TV MJD Foundation hoodie on today, representing our friends Vaughn McClure and Jeff Dickerson, who we lost too soon. So this is the foundation benefiting that. They're having a watch party for the game. It's at a really cool rooftop venue, Morgan's on Fulton. We're going to be there doing our pregame show. So come on out. I'll at least be sticking around to watch the first half as well before we have to head back to our studios for postgame and everything. But if you're looking for somewhere to watch the game on Monday night, please come out, support a great cause. And I'm telling you, this venue looks fantastic.
Yep. Charity donation, Morgan's on Fulton. Going to be a great time Monday night leading into the Commanders when the Bears blow them out by 40. Hey, Ho, great stuff today. As always, my friend. We'll see you on Hoge on Johns on Friday, correct? That's the plan for you?
Correct. Although if you missed it, we had a great episode with our guy Fran Duffy earlier today. So that's out when this show's over. And if you didn't see it already, go check it out.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye. But first, hey, shout out to our friends at Monarch Money. If you are the type that goes to Vegas and spends on 8 zillion things and have no idea what you actually did, you could use Monarch Money. That's right. Monarch Money changes your financial life. It is built for people with busy lives, irresponsible people as well, who are brilliant in their own right. They do the heavy lifting. They link all of your accounts in minutes. You get the clear data visual. You get what I like for you is the smart categorization of your spending. You can see exactly how much you spent on all your alcoholic purchases at Circa and everything else that you did out there. And it will help you control your money. It's not just another finance app. It's the best budgeting app in 2025 as established by the Wall Street Journal. You can even give access to your financial advisor if you want to get a little extra view of it. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use the code CHGO at monarchmoney.com. Put that in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com/CHGO.
That's right. And if you're looking to go to a big-time playoff baseball game and your friend offers you tickets that are way more than what they should be going for, because let's face it, They're going to be going for a lot cheaper on the Game Time app. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, Mark Carman, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. You're not going to fall for the bait and switch that some of these other secondary ticket markets try to do. Reel you in, show you this awesome price tag. 3 windows later, it's way worse. So take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
If you were tough enough to go to the Cub game today, you get a great deal on Game Time.
Yeah, Barb.
Right now. But you know, some of us are just not that tough.
Not tough, Barb.
I'm not talking about your mom. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about your soft Cubs just give up on the season. The toughest Bears fan I know. Well, actually not. But if I remember your performance after week 1 and 2 when you literally were thinking about moving to Botswana to get away from the football team. But now
How many
you're back.
Botswana references are you going to have in a week?
All right, Portugal. How's that? Let's go send you to Portugal. Hey, all right, let's talk about solutions to the Bears' run defense. How optimistic are you, Gregory, that Kyler Gordon and TJ Edwards will solve what ails the Bears' defense?
Solves, I think, is a strong word. Certainly helps. I mean,
make a major impact. Let me say it like that.
Yeah, I definitely think they can make a major impact because what we saw a lot at training camp, I mean, TJ Edwards is consummate pro. I think Noah Sewell's done a fantastic job, you know, as the guy that's kind of stepped in his place, or at least how they've figured out the linebacker crew. So I'm not trying to decline any kind of attribute to what TJ Edwards' ability is, but no, I think Noah's done a great job. So I'm not sure where the drop-off is there, but I do think with Kyler Gordon coming back, it is significant, not just in the pass game, but in the run game, because what you saw at training camp with Dennis Allen was him being very aggressive with both Brisker and Kyler Gordon, showing them at the line of scrimmage, showing them doing different things, giving the defense different look or the offense different looks. You heard Caleb Williams talk about that in training camp as well. And so that's going to present challenges for what they're going – Jayden Daniels and Washington's going to call at the line of scrimmage. So I do think Kyler Gordon's presence will be significant, and he is a willing tackler. He's a physical player. It's not just his presence in the line of scrimmage, his ability, once the ball is snapped, to get players down, and the quick passing game behind the line of scrimmage. Kyler's very good at identifying those things. So I'm excited for the return of Kyler Gordon.
Yeah, and Ben underlined it that his ability to make an impact in the run game is one of the things that Ben enjoys about Kyler the most. So, you know, kind of the dual guy, helps you in the pass game, helps you in the run game. So, yes. And then, look, in addition to the run game, the Bears have 5 sacks. That would be tied with the Carolina Panthers for the fewest in the league.
Jesus.
Not exactly the stat that you want.
So bad.
It's not good. So Austin Booker, I saw him in the locker room, I don't know, 10 days ago, and I reported back on CHGO that I'm like, that dude looks healthy. He had a big smile on his face. He was walking around like he looks like a healthy guy. And now he was talking yesterday that he feels great. So my intuition of seeing the way he walked apparently was spot on once again. See, people don't realize that I can tell on a walk. Like when I look at you, I know that things have gone awry. But with Booker, the guy was looking fantastic. By the way, I can see the same with myself. I can't move at all. We'll get to that in a minute. But Booker, I had forgotten, and I know that some of these came late in games, but Booker led the NFL in sacks in the preseason. And that might be the worst take that I've had in here to underline preseason sacks. But considering where the Bears are at, worst in the league at getting to the quarterback, I would like to see the guy that led the NFL in sacks in the preseason on the field more. So I do wonder how much Dennis Allen, assuming that he is indeed as healthy as we're just talking about, will try to use Austin Booker in his second year to get to the quarterback when Dayo Odeyingbo, at this point, at least looks allergic to getting there, and Montez Sweat, some people are calling him Montez does not sweat. So, look, that person would be me who came up with that brilliant name. Listen, I am pro Austin Booker on the field right now. Slide whoever you want to slide inside. Dayo seems like the more logical guy, but at this point, go ahead and play inside Montez Sweat because you guys, somebody's got to do something in here. So let's see if Booker can do some book to cook, cooking
All
the
right,
booking.
slow down. There's a lot of words that just avalanched out your mouth. You had this thought, and then at the end you were like, let me try to push as many words out of my mouth as I possibly can to finish
But it
the
was
sentence.
a good pace to it. Everybody stayed with
I
me.
don't know if it was
Yeah.
it was erratic, okay? We need you to slow it down, just like we need Caleb to slow down on the check down. It's like you were going through your progressions, and you got to the check down, and you started to panic a little bit, and I think you need to just slow it down a little bit.
Okay.
I will say,
Sure.
in terms of the return of Austin Booker, I think it's disappointing that we're now looking at Austin Booker as somebody that can be a savior for this defensive line. Dayo Odeyingbo is getting paid $30 million to get to the quarterback. Montez Sweat's the highest paid player on the team, and it's unacceptable that now we're looking for Austin Booker to come give this defensive line and this edge a lift to get to the quarterback. But if that's the case, so be it. I'll give him a puncher's chance to show it here in the regular season because the last 2 preseasons he's done really well. He did well in his rookie preseason last year. So, you stack another year, you get a year older, you see the progression. You saw a little more physicality with some of his sacks here this preseason.
He's bigger, dude.
He's much bigger. So, all right, cool. I'll give him that. But at the same time, we got to see it in the regular season before all right, now Austin Booker's here. Let's go. To me, he's got to prove it. And that's, to me, unfair to him. There's guys getting paid a hefty sum to do that job, and he should be a guy that could come in and develop still in the regular season as a young defensive end.
Yeah,
but at this point, we need somebody to give this defensive line a shot in the arm.
How's this? Forget about the money. Who deserves to be out there? And right now, I would like to give I'd like to give Austin Booker a chance to earn more playing time. Steven, where are you at on this?
Yeah, so I've got some numbers to kind of back this up a little bit. So Andrew Billings last season, before his injury, he was playing about 60% of the snaps on average. This season, his season high is 58. If I just go through the first 4 weeks, 38%, 47, 30, 58. So his highest snap share was just this last game against the Raiders. Now, a possible solution here, if the Bears think that Andrew Billings is more of a timeshare defensive tackle, we've seen Dayo Odeyingbo play defensive tackle with the Colts. Last season, he played 59 snaps as a defensive tackle. Obviously, the overwhelming majority of his snaps came as an edge rusher. This season, we've only seen him play 3 snaps as a defensive tackle. So, if they do want to keep Billings fresh, or as fresh as they can, they could kick Dayo inside, where he's a little slower. He probably fits that position a little bit better. And then you could add a little speed on the edge from Austin Booker, which is something we haven't seen at all this season from any of the Bears edge rushers.
I'm not saying I'm against kicking Dayo Odeyingbo in, but don't they have enough guys on the interior defensive line?
Not really with Grady Jarrett hurt.
Well, Shamar Turner, if you go back and watch the Raiders game on the pivotal 3rd down stop where Kevin Byard makes the tackle to force the field goal that does get blocked. If you watch that play, Shamar Turner is actually the one that blows it up in the middle that leads to Kevin Byard having the opportunity to make that tackle. So, I'm not saying, let's just try to figure out wherever Dayo Odeyingbo works fine. But I am looking at a guy like Shamar Turner now that he's in the fold, and whenever Grady Jarrett can come back as well, they've got Billings and Jarrett and Shamar Turner, and it's like
I'm with you on Shamar Turner. They used high draft capital on this guy. They got to get him out there. They got to see what they have. Speaking of snap shares, 31% snap share against the Cowboys for Turner, and then 29% against the Raiders. You mentioned the big play that we did have from him. I'd like to see him inside more as well, but I think all of this just goes down to keeping your guys fresh and putting them in the best position to be successful. And if Billings doesn't have the endurance to be out there for 60% of the snaps anymore, that's fine. We have so many different guys that could rotate. Gervon Dexter, he's another guy. Like, if they kicked him outside and mixed things up, I wouldn't be surprised to see that either.
Eric Bochan in the chat saying Shamar Turner had good reps at Texas A&M rushing from the outside. I'd like to see him get some time outside. It's just, and that's fine. Like, we got some guys with different versatility, different abilities, but I just think at this point, it's sad that because our defensive ends aren't doing their job, that now we're trying to piecemeal this pass rush, and it shouldn't be that way.
Well, but
it is.
It's also a fair point that if the interior was making a much larger dent, it would be a lot easier for Montez Sweat, Dayo, or whoever is rushing the quarterback from the outside, who's ever on the edge, to actually get in and make a play. So this has been the forever search for the 3 tech that they didn't draft in Jalen Carter.
As we have officially reached overtime here on the CHGO Bears podcast. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to become a diehard, go to allchgo.com/diehard.
Good job, Gregory.
I'm a pro.
That's
a pro.
Yeah. I do. It's just kind of fun to watch. Everybody's got some solution in here. This is what Dennis Allen gets paid the big bucks for. I'm saying I'd like to see Booker a little bit more Monday night.
Well, and I brought this stat up last night on CHGO Bears After Dark.
Great show.
My guys, Phil and Shane, make sure you watch CHGO Bears After Dark. It was a good show. But I did bring that stat up, and while we're talking about EPA, I'll bring this to the table because I found this interesting as I stall to find it, and you're just going to have to bear with me. But it was basically, and this is from Quentin Crisco at Butkus Stats. He does great work for Bears on Tap. Does some good stuff.
At Butkus?
At Butkus Stats. He actually is a great follow, Carm, and I would encourage you to follow him because
right now.
At Butkus Stats, he breaks down offensive line play quite a bit, and he'll teach you a thing or two throughout the week. Does really good work. Shout out to Quentin. But he had this stat yesterday or the day before, forgive me, but Bears defensive rankings by down through week 5. On first down, their EPA per play, they're 32nd in the league. Their success rate, 32nd in the league on first down. On second down, their EPA per play, 21st in the league. Success rate, 27th in the league. Again, this is on defense. On third down, their EPA per play, can you guess what it is?
No.
On first down, their EPA per play is 32nd in the league. Guess what their EPA per play is on third down?
16th.
First in the league.
Wow.
And success rate, second in the league.
Yeah.
And so what that tells you is if you can get this team into advantageous third down situations, Dennis Allen knows how to call up the defense.
Say goodbye to Motor Music, Michael, before you.
Goodbye, Motor Music, Michael. Where the hell are you going?
He leaves at
back
this time.
to work.
He's got to go back to work. Go ahead.
But on first and second down, which are primarily running downs, the Bears are failing. So this isn't a hard science, but the drastic change from first down to third down in terms of success rate is staggering and shows you, I think a lot of us, including myself, are worried about how this defense is going to hold up all year. But that third down stat has to give you some encouragement. That's the most. I mean, how much have we ripped our hair out with Matt Eberflus on third downs? Those are the pivotal moments in the game, and that's what won the Bears the game on third down against the Raiders. They got that stop. If the Raiders get a first down, they're kicking an easier field goal. We never see the blocked field goal. So to me, I just think that however they got to figure out how to get that success rate a little higher on first down, and they're already having such success on third down, I do think there's actually some untapped potential with this defense, but they got to find their way there.
Well, let's hope that there is, and that is encouraging. And correct me if I'm wrong, but third down does matter more than first down?
What's that?
Third down does matter more than first down? It's a more important down?
Yeah, it is. It is. But, I mean, if you never get
to third down, that's not
right.
good.
Like, look at the Lions. When we played the Lions, did they even ever get to third down? They're just running up and down the field on them.
Well, hopefully that game will be an anomaly in the season. If it's not, that would be a major, major, major problem. All right, shout out to our guy, my new follow. Who did I just follow?
Butkus Stats, our guy Quentin Crisco.
I'm in. Butkus Stats, my guy.
It's a good follow.
That's great.
Remember the other day we were talking about Darnell Wright, and you were saying, I don't think he's been that good, and I showed you a film breakdown of Darnell Wright, that was from Buck's stats.
He's not one of these people that has takes little things and tries to turn it into something great.
No, he's a very, very good follower. Just give it time. You gotta follow him, and
he's a balanced Butkus.
Watch this. He's a balanced Butkus.
All right, I like
he's
balance.
A very good follow.
I like a good solid balance. All right,
Fantasy Cast podcast here in the chat. Do you guys think Braggs genuinely dislikes Carm? Yes,
100%.
I genuinely love Carm, and I genuinely hate him. It is both.
He dislikes me more, but
it comes and goes. There's days I love Carm.
It's once I know it's like a 1 out of 10. But my love for Greg never stops because I'm just a great person, and
Shout out Waterloo.
I see.
Shout out to our friends at Waterloo.
What just happened?
I'm giving a shout out to Waterloo. They gave us a ton of. It's upside down. They gave us a ton of water for our tailgates. We met them a couple weeks ago. You got to come out to our tailgates. Thank you very much. The next one being the Saints game, the corner of Wabash and Cermak. And you, my friends, if you do come, go to allchgo.com/events, and you get your ticket to the gold standard in Bears tailgating all season long, every home game. You can get yourself some Waterloo sparkling water. These guys are great. Shout out to them. They gave us a whole bunch, a hookup. We got a whole stack in our closet for upcoming events. I know Adam Hoge's a big fan. A couple toots for Waterloo.
There you go, Waterloo.
Waterloo.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk about Ticketgate real quick here because we are in overtime, and this one is for that toot was also for you, Jose. He asked for the harmonica today. You ask and you will receive, Jose, because didn't have it on me, but I got up on a butt first and got you the harmonica. So I was fortunate, Gregory, to have one of my great friends who had access to Cubs tickets give me 2 Cubs tickets for today.
Yep.
And I was, I thought that my lovely beautiful partner Jackie was going to take her amazing son Beckett to the game today, but that didn't work out. So then I had these extra tickets. So I started throwing them around to the great people in my life, you included. I asked you before I asked Hoge, just so you know. You were first, buddy.
I better be. Hoge is not a Cubs fan.
Well, I've done post-game shows with Hoge during the Cubs playoffs, so he's got some level of, just baseball appreciation. But you were first. And so, I won't name names, but somebody eventually takes the tickets. And now took the tickets before Game 2. All right? Game 2 happens.
Mm-hmm.
Give a 3-run bomb in the bottom of the first, lose 7-3.
Which I told you that was going to happen.
Yeah. Dude writes me the next day, hey, man, bloom's off the bud. Not really feeling it anymore.
Oh, you said work came up with him. Now that story's changed.
Yeah. No, there's a work with another one.
Oh, I see.
You're getting ahead of the game.
Okay.
Says, I don't want the tickets anymore. And I'm like, dude, these tickets were hot before Game 2. Anybody would have taken them. Now, no Cub fan wants to go. So can you, I don't mean to inconvenience you. You don't mean to inconvenience me? I don't mean to inconvenience you, but can you find somebody else to take them? So I copy and paste the same text and send it to 20 Cub fans. One of them finally jumps in. Can't believe you gave me this offer. I'm so excited. Great.
You're the first person I thought of.
So right, exactly. So I tell the first guy, you're off the hook. We found somebody, no problem. So I send it to him. An hour later, after he takes the tickets and Zelled me. Hey man, sorry. Didn't realize how much work I have tomorrow. Can't use them. And I'm not Game Time. All right? But once you make a purchase, that purchase is final. What? Now you're out? So now we go round 3. And I got to send it out again. Now, and I did eventually find somebody who took the tickets, and he's taking his daughter, and it's a beautiful thing. The greatest Cub fan of all time, Ken Tarnoff, shout out. He'll be there today. In good seats, by the way. So I'm wondering, in your mind, Gregory, and you to the chat, what should be the punishment for the first two people? Are they never asked again, or is this just, that's fine? You said you wanted them, but things changed, and nothing is final between tickets and friends.
Well, and they get bumped down the priority list. They are still on the list, but of the people that you go to first, they're now dropped down, and they have to work their way back up. Like, to me, I was always completely forthright with you about it. I wasn't interested. I said
No, you weren't. You were a pain in the ass too. You said you didn't want them, and then
I said I didn't want them, and that held true.
And then 20 minutes later, you say, "Hey, Carmen, you still have those tickets? My mom wants them."
Right. That's two totally different people.
No, you're
my mom's getting bumped down the priority list because she said she wanted them. Then the next day she said she didn't. I had always said I didn't want them.
Your family is one concoction. It's not just you.
I don't think
you need to. If you didn't want them, you should have been a thoughtful son. And before you said no, you should have called your mom and said, "Do you want the tickets?" You thought about it afterwards. Then you asked your mom. Then you came back to me. "Hey, game, you still have no tickets? My mom wants to." No, that was a bad job by you. It's a bad job.
It was a bad job.
Thank you.
But then she ended up not wanting them anyway. So it's a bad job by her.
And then when I came back to you, then your mom gave up too, like every other Cub fan has given up. But you'll all be back for Game 4. But I don't have any tickets for Game 4. At any rate,
they're not getting to Game 4.
And the kicker on this too, by the way,
lose by 12.
The dude that gave me the tickets.
Ruined my life.
Okay, just stop talking. The dude that gave me the tickets, I've done more favors for this guy in the history of the planet, and then he got mad at me because I told him the ticket story. He's like, "Dude, those tickets were for you. They weren't for you to give away."
If I gotta look at Andrew Vaughn's beady eyes one more time, the rest of my life.
All right. We're doing 2 different shows right now, which means we should end this one show. One super chat today. Also somebody who I offered tickets to, and then she couldn't move quick enough, so she didn't get them either. Crystal, $5. Great show today, guys. Carm, you look good today. Hair and outfit, you look refreshed. Brags, good luck to your Cubs. Love you guys always. Bear down. Now, I do look good today, and the hair is fresh. And you know why? Do you know why, Steven?
No, I asked you right when I walked in. Formal Carm today.
Well, I had started off my tennis league 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, and 0-4.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to look in the mirror. And I had a winnable match last night.
Oh, yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings showed up. And I came out, and I got myself, went to the Midtown Athletic Club, and I got myself loose before the match. I used the vibrate machine and everything. Got the calves going. Everything was loose. Was feeling good. Came out, took the first set. Power, 6-2. Up early in the second set, 1-0. Then it went awry. Braggs isn't listening anymore. Then it went awry.
I don't care.
Lost 6 games in a row. Lost the set, 6-1. Now we're in a 10-point tiebreaker. And Steven, you know what I did? You know what
What'd
I did,
you do,
Braggs? Hello?
What?
I sat there like this.
Stop making that noise.
I said, it's all about heart, Carm.
That's not hard. That's just creepy. Whatever you were just doing, rubbing your chest.
It's my heart.
That's your heart?
Yes, it's right here. It's where your heart is, buddy. It's in your chest. Your heart. I said, Carm, it's about heart. It's about grit.
I lost my heart after that 10-game losing streak.
Right.
It's gone.
I'm still living with heart.
Cold and dead.
Leading with it. And you know what happened, Gregory?
What happened?
10-2. Smoked them in the tiebreaker. And if you're starting to cry like I am right now, it's okay. Because it was emotional. And I just sat there and I said to myself, you know what, self? I don't know how many more times we're going to be here. But we're here right now. A champion of tonight. Had a chance to go 1-0, and that's what I did, 1-0. So it's not about being 4-0, 5-0, 4-1, 1-4. But I am now 1-4, and I'm damn ass proud of it. 1-4. I think still in last place, but that's okay. We're on the board, baby. We will not go defeated this season. So thank you for listening and indulging me. And to everybody out there, kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I was a kid and a parent and a teacher and a player last night. And I showed that I cared. Just like I care about you. And you, Jose, and you, Dr. Truth, and you, Christopher, and you, Bo Chanton, and you, Crystal, and everybody else that loved this segment, and even the ones that didn't. Rob Schwartz, I miss you. Good to see you. Hey, we're almost at game day. Not
5
quite.
days away.
5 days away. We're back tomorrow. Johns will join the show tomorrow. Anything else going? Oh, we got a big time guest coming on.
We've got a big guest coming on. We're gonna.
You don't want to talk about it? You don't want to say
We'll
what it
announce
is?
it later. We'll announce it later.
Former,
but we do have
we're
today
interviewing a
some
former Bear.
big shows. CHGO Cubs going to be doing a live
Yeah.
watch along
Yeah.
for Game 3 of the NLDS. Hopefully the Cubs can get off the mat here and turn the pressure on Milwaukee in Game 4, but we'll see.
Yeah, we've got live watch along. We've got post game show in just 15 minutes. We have Blackhawks right here in this studio. We got a lot coming up.
Interesting.
The fun never stops. All right, go get yourself me and my RC for today. Gregory, yes, you're allowed to put something in it to get through this game because we know you'll stay on brand. Hey, we're back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for watching CHGO Bears. Tell a friend. And what's your saying?
Keep your head up.
Yeah.
And always bear down.
See you tomorrow.